Yeah, we'll kind of move into spoiler talk now.
So I'm gonna drop off because disclaimer, I have not seen episode 2 yet. So
Yeah, but me, Aiden, and Brian will talk about it from like probably the next 10 minutes or something of just episode 2 and what we thought of it. Spoilers. I guess we won't really talk about. I don't really want to compare it too much to the game, so I guess we won't really mention the game. Should we not spoil the game at all? I mean,
Please
there's something
don't.
that
I'm in this fresh. I
Oh, I
want it.
mean, we could
I
just
want it
talk
on record
about
right
episode
now.
can I
two.
talk about things that have happened already though, Brian? That's different to
Yeah,
the game.
hang on. I just want to make a disclaimer in case anyone's in the same boat. I'm an Xbox boy, born and raised, always been like that. So I never played The Last of Us. I've never watched any gameplay on The Last of Us. I think the most I've seen are like some of the gory ass kills in The Last of Us 2, but like I have not watched anything on it. So I'm going into this fresh. I know I watched on TikTok because you sent it to me, Josh. They did the side by sides, which was fucking sweet of
Yeah.
it, like to the game, and it was like 1-to-1 basically. But I do want to know in the first episode, since I wasn't on that, I don't know if you guys
Sure.
talked about it or not. When him and Tommy like accidentally get split up, and it's like Joel and Sarah. Was that the girl's name? His daughter.
Yes.
So Joel and Sarah have to like go their own way. Sarah's got the fucked up ankle, and it felt like a game. It's like you don't worry about Tommy; you just know Tommy's gonna link back up, or maybe he doesn't. But that's cool that we don't focus on him. Like some TV shows would like maybe cut an angle, you see what Tommy's up to. No, this felt like a game, and like you're the main character, and you're following just Pedro Pascal and what's her name, and that's just fucking sweet. And it
Well,
felt
so in episode 2, like when Tess has to go up to clear the debris,
and I was gonna say,
it's the
and
same
you saw
thing.
that again.
Yeah.
Tess was chilling, and then you got like what would be like in the game, just more character development. And I mean, granted, it's the same thing, but that's like it feels like fresh, like that, almost like a fresh watch.
Dude, it's easily the best video game adaptation to date.
Easily.
And they're like, what would you compare it to? And it's like Uncharted, no.
Mm-mm.
Sonic, no. Like
The Witcher,
it's like
no.
dude, it's literally the start of like so many more great adaptations like in the future.
It's amazing.
And I think that
I was
HBO is doing a
cracking up.
great job. You guys gotta go back and watch the after like the little 10-15 minutes
Yeah, I
after
watched
each
those.
show. It's
Yep.
always good because they tell you like a breakdown. They're like they had all these different concept arts of clickers. And I mean it's different pop because that scene in the game is spot on. It's literally like it's you hear that noise, you're like, what the fuck is that? And
Yeah, so
then it's just creepy as shit.
to explain it, Brian, this isn't really a spoiler at all, but there's different versions of the infected. They kind of explain it. A clicker has been around.
I kind of saw that.
Yeah, so clicker's been around for like a year, and it's like the third evolution. They first start as runners, and they look like normal people somewhat.
Yeah.
And then there's stalkers, where half their face is like a fungus. You kind of see them a little bit in this episode too, and they are more like intelligent. They'll like kind of stalk their prey a little bit. Well, that's why they have the name. And then the third ones are clickers, where they can't see but they can hear like on a dime, and they're kind of have their face are kind of armory. And then there's a fourth evolution where it's like basically this huge mutant monster that's like completely all armor. And basically in the game to take them out, you got to throw like a Molotov at them. That's like one of the best ways to do it. But yeah, so basically there are different versions of zombies. They're not stupid like and slow like the ones in The Walking Dead or anything like that. So
Well, that's
And
what
that's what
someone
makes
tried
it
to
so
compare it
good,
to
man.
earlier at work. I was talking about it with my manager, and he was like, "Yo, did you watch it? Like, are you caught up?" And I was like, "No, we can talk tomorrow." I go, "But I did watch the first one, so we can talk about that." And one of the ladies overheard was like, "Oh, what are you guys talking about?" And we were like, "The Last of Us." And they're like, "Oh, what is that?" And we were like, someone goes, "It's like The Walking Dead." And I go, "Except for the zombies aren't fucking stupid." She's like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "You know how like they just like slow walk and like they're attracted to sound?" She goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "No, these ones like can run fast." And then I had kind of knew about the clicker to where they come to the sound.
Well, see,
Yeah.
that's why, like, in my opinion, I think World War Z is such a great movie
Cool. That
because
was a
those
fire
those
movie.
zombies are insane.
Mhm.
Like, you've never seen anything like that
Dude,
before.
when they're
And
going
then,
up the wall, that shot is still
yeah,
fucking
and like
crisp.
those are insane, and even like Train to Busan, like those zombies are nuts too.
Train to
And
Busan, dude. If we had those zombies from Train to Busan, I would
Fuck.
just kill myself.
Yeah.
Like there is no competing. These motherfuckers are running as fast as the train, like before it gets into like high speed. Like they're cooking.
Nah. But that's why I mean, even this one, like we haven't really gotten that many zombie shots so far. Like clickers obviously are on their own, but like that
Aiden, what do you think of the
when they're running
museum,
through
dude?
the sick. And I love
So
how they
cool.
did the like switch from the game. And that's the thing. I mean, you can't really like we can't sit here and like, oh, we're not gonna spoil it. Like it's gonna get spoiled regardless. But that's the thing.
Right.
Is I feel like even like you telling that girl at your work, like, hey, we're talking about The Last of Us. Like, I feel like those numbers of like watchers and all that, the audience, like it just keeps going by word of mouth. Like I talk to the guys at work too, and they're like, oh, like I gotta check that out. Like it's still good, even if you've never played the game before.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then alone,
So-
it'll make you want to play the game even more.
It does.
So I do wonder, I had heard, what was the difference between how it started? Like, do you think, is this going to be a spoiler? Are they going to explain this like coming up, or
What do you mean,
Well,
the
so-
infection?
yeah, because like wasn't there something about like gas masks and shit, and they just
Yeah.
didn't want that?
So I
Yeah,
mean,
so-
you can go, Josh. Go ahead.
Yeah, so in the game, there's spores, right?
Right.
And the characters have to wear gas masks a lot. And in the show, they didn't really want the actors having to wear gas masks most of the time. So in this show, instead of the spores, they're doing the things coming out of their mouth, the
Oh,
whatever they call
okay.
them.
The actual
Yeah, so-
fungus. I forget the
Yeah,
name.
the fungus is coming out of their mouth, just kind of more of a
Cordyceps.
visual, to show.
Yeah.
So that they're doing that
That
instead.
shit
and
is
it-
disgusting.
Dude, that was
bro.
when that one
That
fucking
is so
tongue kiss.
Kissed her.
man.
Dude, they
Yeah.
like tongue kissed her, and she's just
Ugh.
Yeah,
oh.
So I thought real quick. I thought the very first
Go ahead.
episode when that grandma's eating that, dude. There's an insane thing that I'll tell you guys once we're done. Like, it'll be my closing bit. But when you see the grandma like eating that the lady on the ground,
Mhm.
and I look like hair, and I 100%
Yeah.
was convinced that it was hair.
yeah.
And then that second, the
Ugh.
opening to the second
Ugh.
episode, like the
This
fact
is
that
not
that
a show
girl
to
is a
eat to.
mycologist and she literally does it for a living. She's a master in her craft, and she says to bomb everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
The military guy wants to do medicine. He wants to do all that.
Yeah, medicine. He
job is
goes
to
with
bomb
like a
everything.
cure.
And then
Dude, and then she
she wants
goes,
to bomb
"Can
it."
you have someone drive
Drive
me
me
home? I
home.
would like to be with my family." And it's just
Sheesh.
like, holy fuck. And like you could tell how big of a twist it was gonna be as soon as she goes, "This doesn't exist, like this can't exist in human." And then they take her in there and it fucking moves, and it's just like, oh, again,
Yeah.
not a show to eat to. I've made that mistake 2 times in a
was
row
eating
now.
popcorn,
Dude, I was
bro, and
eating-
was
yeah,
like,
I
I
was
eating
eating. I went and picked up Chick-fil-A on my way home, so I was
Oh,
eating a nice
man.
sandwich, and I like put it down, and I didn't touch it for another 5 minutes.
It's
Well, so what are your
disgusting.
guys'
It's really
thoughts?
uneasy, bro.
What are your guys' thoughts so far? Because I love it. I
Mhm.
love how every episode, and I assume they're going to continue it, is a flashback from right before
I
it-
hope.
the
I
outbreak
really
happens.
do.
Yeah,
hope
I
they
do. I do
Really
like that
cool.
a lot.
Really cool.
I
And
thought
it's different
and-
countries and everything like that. I love it.
Right, and that's just like really good fucking pacing, dude. Like we get in here and the first thing we see is the introduction to the virus. And that's what I liked about the beginning of the first episode. The first episode started and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then you realize what the guy's talking about. The scientist talking about how if the bacteria were to evolve, like then that would be an issue, or the fungus would like evolve.
Really quick, do you know in real life, this is really creepy, and I learned this from the game. In real life, that fungus actually does exist, but it
I
only
believe
affects
it.
ants. It only affects
Yeah.
ants and not
Yeah.
humans.
You know,
So
I
in
believe
that in that universe, it affects humans also. That's
I
it.
mean,
It's a
when
real
I
thing.
was- Well, what's
when-
fucked up too,
that's-
he's like, what would cause evolve global warming? It's like we're going through it right now.
No,
Yeah.
but learning about those ants and like that fungus that does like turn ants into zombies, like they do full control over their body and their minds, and the
Mhm.
ants completely dead. The only thing that's still working is their brain, and they have all
So
more
good.
functionality.
Man, you know, that's
I was,
basically
like,
what Dahmer
tweet-
was going for.
Yeah, when I was taking like my science courses in college,
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say
pretty sure
you
we learned
probably
that
knew
in high
about
school.
this.
Yeah, and then that's so sweet because you watch it, and I saw a bunch of idiots on Twitter saying like, "Oh, like they made up a really good thing about ants." Like, no, that's fucking real,
no,
buddy.
that's real.
And it's so cool how they can actually take science and put it towards it. I mean, obviously the global warming thing and like humans, that's a good reach. Like it definitely makes sense.
Mhm.
But it's so good, man.
Well, and then Brian, what did you think? Because obviously me and Aiden knew, but what did you think about like Tess being bit? You know?
I figured that Tess wasn't around because I had never seen her once in any type of gameplay. So I
Okay.
did kind of figure that she was dead as fuck. And it's cool. This is now the second time we have seen someone blow themselves up for Pedro Pascal and the kid that he is protecting.
Well, the other guy was a droid.
Yep. So that was fire.
Yeah.
But no,
So
I mean,
I-
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, in the game, this is my final time mentioning the game. Well, there's 2 scenes I liked a lot, but like Brian, the first time that you like run into clickers and everything like that is in the museum in the game, and the museum just looks just like the show. It's crazy, it gave me goosebumps.
Nice.
There's that, and then at the end of this episode, when she kind of goes out attracting all the zombies to her to
Mm.
blow up, in the show, or not in the show, in the game, they're actually fighting troops.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think for this episode they didn't
Fedra.
want to. Yeah, they didn't want to involve them yet because, this is kind of like mainly a zombies episode. Like we're seeing
Right.
clickers and now we're gonna. So I see why they didn't do it. I actually totally understand. But yeah, so those were like the only two comparisons that I really got from the game. But
What did
yeah,
you see
dude,
the Easter egg that they were talking about?
was it her lighter?
Tessa's lighter
Yeah.
is Nathan Drake's
Oh,
Uncharted.
really?
from
That's
Yeah,
badass.
Uncharted.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Man,
it's,
man, you guys got console exclusive Easter eggs now? What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
they got
I'm
all
telling
we
you.
got, all we
console
got was
exclusive
fucking
shows.
Halo, and that motherfucker took his helmet off in the first episode.
Hey,
Yes.
hey, did you guys see the Spider-Man 2 rumor that apparently Insomniac Games said like it might come at the end of 2023?
What was
When
it
is
originally
Wolverine
projected
supposed to
for?
come out?
Wolverine's 2024. So the
what
rumor
was it
was Spider-Man
originally?
was supposed to be 2024.
Oh,
But they're,
well, that's
they're
cool.
like ahead of schedule, I guess. So
You know,
I can't wait
Because
for
that
those
shit's a
games.
I'm gonna be
reskin.
honest. This is kind of off topic, but now with this show, I was already thinking about it. As far as like buying a PS4 just to play it. But when I was at Meijer 2 weeks ago, I was just shopping and I was like, it's like 10 a.m. Like, fuck it, I'll go down the game aisle, see what's on sale. They had a whole ass PS5 just in the case. And
Fuck it, man.
honestly,
It's a
I'm gonna
great
be honest,
investment.
like probably around like summertime, if I finally I'm trying to hit 100,000 gamer score on Xbox, and once I do that, then I'll be chilling.
Yeah.
But like after that, save a little money. I might just rip the PS5 solely to play
Because I can play all
now
the games.
The
dude.
Last of Us, and then I could play both the Spider-Man that are out right now, Wolverine, hopefully the new Spider-Man.
I was gonna text you, dude.
They have good ass games, man. They like Ghost of
Yeah.
Tsushima.
Yeah,
That's a good ass game, man.
I was
haven't
gonna
beaten it, but
they had what's the game that we'd play, Brian? The scary game. What's it called?
Outlast.
Outlast.
Yeah,
Outlast. Yeah.
You know what
They
I was
had
reminded of?
they had a
Josh?
bundle of all three, Brian, for $1.50.
Wait, there's a
on the
third one?
What do
PlayStation
you mean
Store.
3?
So they have the 2 and then the DLC for the first one.
Oh, I forgot about the DLC.
The whistleblower DLC.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
all
I
three for
forgot we played
$1.50. I'm like,
that.
are you kidding me?
Dude, you
So I
should have
bought
bought
it.
that. I would have. All right, good. I'm coming
I
over
bought it.
next
I'm
time
like,
I'm
why not?
home.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
come
why not?
over. We're gonna drink some gluten-free beers and we're gonna have a good time. No,
Some little
Josh,
White
you know what
Claws.
I was just
Yeah.
reminded of?
Hmm.
Do you remember fucking PT?
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking forgot about that. My buddy,
Daryl?
the same kid George, fucking posted it on his story, and I was like, "Yo, is this that game with Norman Reedus that was never released?" And he goes, "I thought it was this game, but honestly, you might be right." And
Yeah.
I was just taken aback to 2014 when you were like, "Yeah, dude, this is just some free game. It was just scary as fuck. We had no business playing it, just
Mhm.
scaring ourselves down
So
there."
scary.
But yeah, I was just reminded of that.
Yeah, so yeah, to bring it back together, I mean, like, I love this episode. I think this one's probably even better than the first, and I've been getting people hooked on it that have never seen the show. I mean, clearly, like, even Andrew has never played it, and he really likes it. And like, I got my dad to start watching it. My girlfriend's dad's watching it. Sydney wants to watch it.
Yeah.
So like, it's really cool that like, even if you've never even seen the show and you know nothing about it, they can get really invested in the show.
You know, I was almost waiting for you to text us that your dad was asking to borrow your PlayStation to play this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't. I mean, dude, it made me go out and want to buy the game to play it again. So there's
You were
no,
part of the 322%.
yeah. I mean, I was like, I definitely want to play it again. I mean, it's been 8 years, and I mean,
Mm.
we mentioned it earlier. They've remastered the game 3 times, like GTA, and
Yep.
you know, but yeah, dude, if you get a PS5, they have like the PlayStation Plus, which is like the Game Pass,
Mhm.
but they also have like an exclusive version where you can pay like $15 or $16, and you get access to all the PS3 and PS2 games too. So like they have a
Holy
classic
shit.
catalog also, so you can play all those different games.
Dude, when I had
got all the
COVID,
GTAs,
ever since
Bill
I've got
Pulley,
my
all of them.
PS5, man, I paid that $15 a month, and there's
Yeah.
so many cool games like Ape Escape, Sly Cooper,
Hell yeah.
Jack, all those good ass or Jack and Dexter. I've been playing all those, and I just like play them, get the nostalgia, and then like kind of never touch them again.
Never touch him again. Yeah, that's
But
how
it's
it
still
goes.
good, man. You fire it up, you run around, you're like, God, this is so good, but it's so shit at the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can close this out if you guys are good.
Yeah.
Let me just say, I'm with Josh. Well, actually, you know what? I'm kind of not. I think the first one was better, only because that was probably one of the best openers to any series ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe not ever, but in my recent days, fire as fuck. But I'm so excited for the third one. If they keep up this momentum, they're definitely on track for fucking show of the year already. Unless, well, the Bear season 2, but new original show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys heard in the second episode, they said it started from like a wheat farm in Indonesia, and if you go like you gotta like backtrack to since the first episode, you see the grandma eating biscuits, and that has wheat.
Oh,
she's one of the first ones.
okay.
Joel, they remember he asked him, he's like, no, I'm on some kind of medicine, no wheat for me. So he hasn't eaten any wheat. They were supposed to get pancakes. He forgot the mix. He forgot the cake for wheat.
Oh,
They
that's
didn't get
cool.
pancakes.
Oh, that's
And
bad.
also, when she eats cookies, she doesn't like oatmeal cookies, so she doesn't eat them. So
Yeah.
Sarah,
Uh-huh.
then remember he's like eating some like beef jerky looking type thing, but she's eating a sandwich and they're watching her in the second episode because
Mhm.
one, they didn't think she was gonna make it through the night after they scanned her and she was sick or whatever.
Right.
And then she's sitting there chowing down on a sandwich with white bread, and she's she's not vulnerable to it.
Shit.
So
Yeah.
it's
That's
like
sick,
a good
dude. I
hidden
didn't realize
detail.
that.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. I remember I literally
Damn.
watched the video and I'm like, no fucking way, dude.
Dude, the grandma eating the face though reminded me of what fucking movie is it? You
Legion.
know, yes, Legion,
when
bro.
she's in the
When the grandma's in the diner and she fucking
Yeah,
turns
burn
into
in
the
hell.
devil. Oh my god, that's all I could think of.
Oh,
And then
no,
it made me more
exactly.
scared because again, when the grandma was eating the face, I was fucking eating in real life again. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I'm really excited. It's like I said, I mean, it's gonna be one of those shows where it literally just gets better and better
Oh,
each week. And I
Yeah,
don't know
so
how
we-
did they confirm how many episodes? It's got to be
9.
like 8.
Oh, okay, 9. Perfect.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, and I don't know
luckily-
when. I don't know if it goes into the DLC or when like Last of Us 2. Obviously,
So,
like there's a ton.
That's
of
what
it,
I was
so.
gonna add. I like how they're mentioning like, or the start of each episode is like kind of like an intro to like pre-breakout.
Yeah.
And I think that's good because it sets up not like when the season ends and people are gonna be like, hey, like, we want a prequel or whatever.
Mhm.
We want to see.
Yeah,
how it
they could
works.
always do
So,
spin-offs and
I heard that. Yeah, but I heard that in one of these episodes, if it's not the third one or pretty soon, they're gonna show like how Ellie got infected and all that. So,
Nice.
yeah, the first time. Yeah,
yeah.
because she
I'm
says
excited
she's
to
down
see it.
there alone. But
Mhm.
anyway,
Yeah, you could tell in her face that she was not alone.
Yeah.
And is that a part of the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,